How is everybody doing? My name is Echo. Today in this video, we're checking out the 1.4 update for the Crops and Farms add-on. This was created by Some Game Studio. So today's update introduces a brand new golem called the Crop Golem. We have farmer traders, we have pets, improvements to bees, custom machines, sprinklers, pigs, quality of life changes, and so much more. Now, this add-on is being increased in price. It is currently priced at 1,340 mine coins, but is being increased to 1,510. Although that's disappointing, I understand why they've done it. This is a top quality add-on, and this will be a free update if you already own it. I did get early access. It's not a paid promotion. Let's go through this. I would like to touch on the subject of this add-on being increased in price. Some good news. When this version 1.4 launches, this add-on will be on sale, with it going on sale once again towards the back end of this year. Although this is a price increase, the creators have outlined that this is still receiving multiple updates and it's practically doubled in size since their last update. So when it does go on sale, I will make an announcement. Don't miss out. Once you do have this installed in your pre-existing world, you are yet again going to be given a guidebook. If you do already own this, make sure you update to get the latest files. When you open up this guidebook to check out the latest features, scroll to the bottom and tap on the About section. To get in contact with the creators, this is the best way to do so. The majority of this update is actually based on community suggestions, which were left in their Discord. We have checked out all of these previous updates, which you can see on my YouTube channel. Just type in Crops and Farms 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. The original version of this add-on, I think, was called Harvest Craft, which we did check out. When we tap on here, we have all of the latest features. And honestly, this update could have been a separate add-on if they really wanted to. Let's check them out. So they added the Cropper Golems, who will tend to the crops and farms crops, and they work in a very similar fashion to the Copper Golem. Now, before we do check out these incredible looking mobs, let's open up our guidebook. So a very big community suggestion with this add-on has been a wiki. They don't currently have a wiki, but they do now have a search option. One of the biggest questions within this add-on has been rubber. You can now search for rubber, find out how to make it inside of the kiln, but we do have a brand new feature which we will get into, and that's going to be Sap Taps. So if you do have any problems, the search option will be your best friend. It's this little guy making all of the noise. He seems relatively happy inside of my farm. So in order to make yourself these custom golems, it's done the exact same way as a regular golem. However, you need to put a hat on it. Now remember, this add-on doesn't utilize the regular crafting table. It has this, which is the workbench. Now you have to put a blueprint on top of this for it to become functional. So if you type in hats, we have the farmer's hat. We're going to need this. So we're going to have to grab ourselves a couple of these, and I'm going to wear one myself. We'll grab a couple of these. They're not stackable, but yes, you can put them on you. I wish it had like wheat in the mouth as well. Be pretty cool. So go ahead and make yourself a regular golem. Once you've made one of these, put a hat on them and they become the Cropper Golem. They are going to harvest and tend to your custom crops within this add-on. So let's get ourselves another one of these made, shall we? There we go. Now, what's really cool about these as well, and you need to have a chest, so I need to put this on top of here so they go inside of there. But they're just going to tend to your crops. As you can see here, he's currently harvesting whatever we have here, which I think is the onions. You will take it to this chest and place it inside. It looks like they're both doing the exact same thing. Now, you can keep an eye on each one of your golem by looking at the outfits they have on. So you can change these. So let's say you wanted to go pink or yellow or green or black or white or regular green. You can change their clothing. So as you can see here, he's now got the white dungarees on. Let's try black on this one. We'll go white. We'll go green. I think it's a really cool way to do it. So if you've got farms set up in specific colors, these guys are amazing. So obviously we have a slight problem here. He's not placing items inside. So what we do need to do is grab this. Oh, I think it went down here and just place it on top like this. It just means that all of your items are automatically going to go inside, which means they can just keep tending to this. You could then later on set up some kind of automated system. So he's putting the items inside of there. As you can see, it's happening. And they actually do attend to your corn as well. Tall, small, it doesn't matter. I think this add-on is 10 out of 10. And these guys just make it so much better and more enjoyable. And we do have rats. We'll get into this in a second. Another very big aspect of today's add-on is going to be traders. So if you just type in trades and search, we do have the harvest traders, which you're able to make yourself 2 different types of tables. We have the supply and we also have the trader. Rather than reading it to you, let me show you how they work. Here is the recipe right here. You are going to need 2 chests, a crafting table, mangrove slabs. You might be able to use any of these, emeralds, and once again, a farmer's hat. Now, what I love about this add-on is the majority of the items, if you hover over it, it tells you exactly what it's for. Same is going to be for the crops as well. So if you go ahead and open up the blueprint table, tap on craftable, we're able to make the farmer's supply stall. It's a trading station, requires empty block behind. So let's go ahead and place this here. If I had an item here, it would not work. And this moody looking character will pop up. He's going to be useful, especially if you're using this with multiple add-ons, because different add-ons obviously increase the spawn of entities. We've seen it a lot. So if you're struggling to find the custom mobs in this add-on, you can now get spawn eggs for this. Now, this guy in particular, he likes emeralds. If we tap on him, we're able to buy the bushes, for example. We could buy the hare. We could buy the chickens, the turkeys. And obviously, the more you do this, you're going to open up new categories such as cows, some pigs. We've got goats. They're quite useful very, very shortly. But yeah, it's just a great way to get these mobs, especially if you're combining this with other ones. As you can see right there, I love the animals inside of this add-on, but he's just one of 2 traders. This next one is made the exact same, apart from these 2 items are different. They are the crop box. Open up your blueprint table and you're able to get the farmer's trading stall. If you tap on him, he's able to you're able to get emeralds from him for selling these. There's also truffles. These are really cool. A brand new item as well. So let's just grab a couple of items here. Hopefully I've got some that I can trade with him. So if we tap on him, we can buy these. As you can see there, you can buy a couple of them as well. It's going to open up more trades a little bit later on. So obviously you've got apple juice. You've got foods. I love that it tells you how much hunger points they're going to give you. Orange juice. There's so many different options. Even you can sell pizza for emeralds. So if you stocked up on a large quantity of items and you need emeralds because maybe you want to have both of these set up in the same area, it's certainly doable. And the creators did this. They will actually go to sleep. I think someone said it's 4 hours in game. I'd have to change the game rules so the time does tick over. So eventually, these guys should doze off and go for a little nap. And as you can see, they're now asleep. So also added in this version is pet cats and pet dogs that can live and roam around your farm. Now, a little bit more detail about this, because the creators told me pets will roam in the farm and cats will hunt rats. Dogs can be toggled between roaming and following. Pets come with pet carrier, pet beds, and food bowls. And they can also be purchased from the farm supplier. Rats may spawn in crop fields, but can be toggled. And that's the reason why you did see a rat over there. It spawned inside of my corn. But if you don't like it, go inside of the main options, tap on settings, and you can enable or disable this. Let's check out the pets that you're able to find. This is your cat and this is your dog. So here is the cute little kitty. If I was to do / summon and we did a rat, they will chase them, which is just a nice experience in your Minecraft world. These can be toggled between roaming and staying or following. Sorry, I wish there was a stay option as well, to be honest. So roaming and follow. I wish there was a stay mode as well. And they do have, obviously, some beds as well. So when it does get to nighttime, they are going to stay in their respective beds. Also, they do come in different colors. If you open up the blueprint table, I think if you type in cats or type in bed, maybe it's not this one. But there is, trust me, a lot more different variations of these. The doggo has gone to bed. Eventually will sit down, by the way. I have no idea where the cat has gone, but I would like to carry it. So there you go. You have a carrier. So if you wanted to take it from A to B, now follow. Can we pick you up? I need another one. Let's get ourselves one more of these. Hold on, hold on. There we go. So if you needed to take them to the vet, yeah, it's doable. Also, they will heal at nighttime when they're inside of their bed. This is a really cool introduction. Bees and flowers. Bees can now be transformed into farmers. All you need to do is give a bee a hat. Place this down, tap a hat on it. Now, basically, what this will do is it will now tend to the custom crops available inside of this add-on. I'm guessing they don't quite have the tech to do that with the regular kind of bees. They will also attend your regular Minecraft crops, sorry, flowers as well. So if we grab a couple of these and put some hats on them, they should tend to these. Now, when they go back and forth between their hive, and I would have to grab myself some fresh crops here, but they will actually speed up the process of the custom crops in this add-on, the same way as it works for regular Minecraft. So we're just gonna give a couple of these like this. As you can see, I believe they can also spread the flowers as well. Now, there's a new introduction as well. We have beams. We'll get into that very shortly. But yeah, again, it's just a really cool quality of life change. They will tend to the crops when they go back and forth across the flowers to the crops to the hive. There is a chance to speed up the growth of the custom foods. And you can very subtly see the particles there. And that's how it works. It doesn't help that I've already got these crops at full growth. It took me longer to set this video up than I anticipated. Oh, okay. So these have just spawned. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Yes. So if you're struggling to find the custom flowers, these little guys can do it as well. He's just wondering. I don't know where he's going. That is a bee with a cute little hat on a journey. So if you struggle to find any of these, yeah, they will spread quite quickly. Another cool change in this update is they added truffles and truffle searching behaviors to pigs. So pigs will now seek out mud blocks, and then you can end up with truffles, which can be traded with, which we will go back to the trader very shortly. So grab yourself the custom pigs. Now, remember, this add-on comes with improved heights for these. I'm not sure if we have... I didn't mean to place that there. Do I have an axe here? I don't have an axe. But if I give myself /give app and we do an axe, just a regular one, you tap on these, you can see, and I'm going to wait for the hitbox to go away, as you can see. So this means that they can't get over. They can get over this. As you can see, so can I. But if I tap on these two, I can't jump over it. I would have to, obviously, go out this regularly. I think it's a fantastic introduction. The creators have thought of everything. That's one of my pet peeves when it comes to these add-ons. We get all of these cool fences, but mobs can still get over them. But anyway, these guys will now seek out mud. And if there's a truffle nearby, I believe they will just leave. As in, like, you won't end up with tons and tons of truffles. It's just very similar to your Minecraft experience. I think they can... There you go. They can get covered in mud. That's how the muddy pig was born, ladies and gentlemen. This is honestly one of my favorite add-ons. I think it's definitely one of the... Oh, he got over. Aha, he's not stupid, this pig. But I want to see if we can end up with a truffle here. Even though all of my pigs have escaped, how did they all get out? How did they get out? I must have had a gap here or something. No, they're climbing over there. They're not stupid. All right, let's see how long it takes for us to get a... Let's see how long it takes for us to get the truffles, shall we? I'm breaking their food. They don't seem to want it. I absolutely love the animation. I love how the muddy pig is born. They're so cool. Wait. There we go. We got ourselves a truffle too. Okay, so now... Oh, wait. No, I need it back. Nope. I'm going to leave them there. If you make your way to all of your traders, hopefully they're still not snoozing. Who wants the truffle? Is it Moody? Moody Pants? Is it you, Moody Pants? It's not Moody Pants. It's you, right? You like... Yes. Oh, wait. Where's the... I must have placed it back down again. Anyway, this guy wants it. Also, by the way, guys, if you do break these, you can take them from A to B, okay? It's like more of a visual farmer than anything else. What did I do with the truffle? I must have dropped it. I must have placed it back down. You might have to switch your hands. I don't know what I did with it. I'll have to check the recording when I go back. We have a couple of new machines introduced in this add-on. One is going to be for Flax, which I believe Flax might be newly introduced. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that the cartwheel on an item frame, it's invisible. It's actually not. It's just visible on the other side. It's just inverted. You are going to need all of these items. Now, as a heads up, to make yourself a wheel, if you just search for it, you need iron and sticks. This right here is going to be an axle to make yourself an axle. It's all in this table. You're going to need tires to make yourself a tire. Everything's inside of here. You're going to need rubber. For those of you struggling with rubber, it can be done in the kiln, but I'll show you guys an easier method. You're also going to need... What is it? We need gears. Everything can be crafted inside of here. It's relatively easy to make. So if we open this up, tap on craftable, we're able to make this. In your world, you are going to find flax. It simply says spins flax into string. This was a quality of life update from the creators. They basically said it's an early game way to get yourself some string. So if you struggle with string, maybe you want to make yourself, I don't know, make yourself a bed. Because you can obviously go like this and turn it into wool. There's just many different things that you can use with this. I think this was a great introduction. And this is just one of these subtle machines introduced. We get into the more exciting ones. So you can see here, some of my sheep don't actually have wool on. That is because we now have a cutter. I need to figure out how to get back inside of here. It's over here. In order to make yourself this cutter, here is the recipe right here. A brand new item, the engine. So if you go inside of here and just type in engine, this is how you make it. It's going to take a little bit of time in a brand new world. Although I say that, diamonds are quite easy to come by. Grab all of the items, place it inside of a crafting table, and you get the shearing machine. And it tells you how this works. Collects wool from sheep, needs shears. So you'd place this down. Oh, we got another truffle. Oh, we got loads of them. They're everywhere. Okay. Anyway, when this is placed down, you have to place inside of here shears. So this right here is going to slowly start to break. So if I was to get inside of here, because I did put shears inside, as you can see here, this can be broken. I wish you could tap on this and it would show you the range. But we got a whole bunch of different wool inside of here. It works for the modded ones inside of the crops and farms. It works for the vanilla mobs as well. This eventually is going to break and you would have to replace it. But it's a really cool system. I've had this one going on for quite some time. That's why we've got quite a few in there. Not too overpowered, but people wanted a way to automate the crops and farms side of things. There is something very similar for your cows. Practically the same recipe here, apart from you need iron blocks. This is going to give you the milking machine, and it collects milk from animals, but it needs bottles. Now, this can collect the milk from goats as well. So once again, I have this set up already. As you can see, it's starting to collect them. This doesn't go here, which I'm kind of surprised by. I thought it might have gone over there like the other one. But the bottles go inside of here, and it's going to slowly start to collect them, which, as you can see. So if I did / effect at P and we did hunger, and we drink these. Oh, it doesn't work like that. Oh, okay. Can I fill this back up? Also, I noticed that we do have this right here. So I wonder if they can be connected to pipes. Regardless, they can stock this up. No, can confirm they cannot be linked to the pipes, but that would be a cool thing if you could take it to somewhere and then obviously turn the bottles into, I don't know, actual buckets, which will prevent you from getting hungry. There is an egg incubator. I really liked the way they did this as well. Here is the recipe. Now, remember, there is 2 different types of these. You've got like a small bedding and like a livestock one for the bigger animals. This is going to give you the egg incubator, which I'm going to grab a couple of these. We'll go 1, we'll go 2, we'll go 3. Make sure you see those white boxes on the outside, by the way. It's just confirmation that things are working. So you can put your regular egg in there, the brown eggs, and the blue eggs. And over time, these are going to hatch. which is such a nice thing to see. I should have probably put these in the incubator a little bit earlier on. But what you will see over time is they'll start to shake. There you go. Particles started popping out of that one. They began to shake as well. So it's just a game of patience. It's just to give you that really cool farm factor. Probably going to be everyone's favorite. This is a Sap Tap because rubber has been quite difficult to come by inside of this add-on. If I go to all of my previous videos, the top comment is how to get rubber, how to get rubber. Although I did show people several times how to do it. I think it was done via slimes last time. So a lot of people that were playing on peaceful were quite confused. This kind of changes that. Now, quite important. In order for this to work, it has to go on the oak trees. As long as you see a white box, things are working successfully, okay? So it works on pale, it works on dark, it works on regular. If I was to place this on this, as you can see, no white outline popped up. Now, eventually, this is going to fill up, and if you go ahead and... Is it break it? How do I extract this? Maybe that wasn't full, but I think you're meant to break it, and then out pops rubber, which is another way to get your rubber. Yeah, so it has to be full. And you have to right-click on it. Okay, don't break it. Don't break it. But this should fill up relatively quickly, as you can see right here. So you will get rubber quite fast, which is going to save a lot of time because this is needed quite a lot in this add-on. Another really cool change in this update is that the sprinkler has been reworked. If you've messed around with this add-on before, it's kind of limited and tedious. In this update, the creators told me they reworked the sprinkler system to be vastly more practical. They now have an overhead pipe system, so you can put it here. It also goes vertical as well. It also says they've improved the range from 16 to 32. There's a new type of grill to make your farms look better. Rather than me reading it to you, let me show you how this works. So, if you've messed with this before, you'll know how this works previously. In order for this to work, if I place this here, this isn't blue, so it's not currently active. What we do need to do is hover this over water. You can see the color changes there. Now, when you place this down, you're going to see water particles. These water particles indicate that water's going to it. You can also see the ground style. It says ground, right? If we place this here, I'm going to place a couple of these. These are overhead. These are classed as the vertical ones, so... just kind of very quickly break this. I want to see what happens when we place this again. Okay, still classed as ground, but we have the vertical one. So if I was to place this here... okay, so not quite. It doesn't say. I thought it said vertical or something. Anyway, ignore me. I'm still learning this. But water can now obviously transfer all the way across the exact same way as it did before, by the way. I'm going to put some sprinklers there. The only downside to this is that it's still a full block, I guess, which just makes sometimes placement a little bit tedious. So water is going to that. We're now going to grab ourselves the actual sprinklers. So if we was to take this right to the end, as you can see here, we have sprinklers. Got it coming out all of the way, different ways, as you can see there. Now, one more thing to mention is that if you tap on this, it's going to show you the range. Okay, so this doesn't quite fit perfectly. Now, if we wait, water will start to come out. Right? So if I was to start placing down crops and things, you'll see we're saturated. I think the best way to do this is set everything up and then obviously saturate this. But what I could also do here is obviously take it this way and then place down another one just to make sure it goes to that land. I'm going to break this one, actually. I want it to be on top. So I then have to tap on this. It's going to show me the range, maybe. No? Maybe I have to take this out. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. It's not gonna reach there, so they're obviously gonna die. Some of the other crops should work perfectly fine. Now, because there is, and I'm gonna change my game mode here, because there's an underground system in this as well. A lot of you have probably had your stuff going underneath, and I want to quickly set this up and just show you guys something that they've also done to make things look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So this is probably how I would have mine. Again, because they can go vertically, I'm going to take this all the way across. I would have them underground rather than above. That's just how I would play. I'm going to take this all the way up to here. We're going to have this on top. No, we're going to take that down and probably have it like maybe here. No, we'll go a little bit. We'll go slightly higher. So we'll go like this and then place this on top. Now, because you end up with a gap there, there is a brand new item that they did introduce. I'm going to try and figure out if we picked it up or not. it's going to be this, which is the pipe grill. And all this does is just kind of polish this off. I need to kind of tap on it because it's going to look like this. Maybe because that's in... Oh, it went there. Hold on, we need to get rid of these. Trying to do it. Get rid. Come on. Trying to place it down properly. So maybe we have to go a little bit further down. Like this. Right? So we'd have to take the... I think the water down a tiny bit more. And then maybe this goes on top. Like this. Kinda. The whole concept of this, guys, is because if you have it like that, you're going to have like a gap here. And this is just meant to make it look aesthetically pleasing to kind of polish off your farming area. I hope that makes sense. You guys would do this a lot better than I would. And it does work with above ground as well, like this, if you're having it floating. But I hope that makes sense. I'm still messing around with this, but it's just so obviously you could then go ahead and still have this as a farming option. Do you know what I mean? And then you could obviously build your path area. You just obviously have to have one gap there, like this. But it's so much better than having wires everywhere. If you're a redstone user, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, where you prefer to hide your redstone than having it on show. But yeah, this was significantly improved. Moving on, the creators, like I showed you before, have introduced beams. Now, this is so much better than I thought it would be. So in order for this to work, you have to grab the saw and place it on the bench and the paints. If you open up the saw and you type in beam, we have all the beam options. To make these, you are going to need the logs. Now, just correction, they have to be the stripped versions in order for this to work. So as you can see here, we're able to make a whole bunch of these, although I don't think it works for the nether-based ones. Now, these are smart blocks. And I'm going to, once again, change my game mode here. So you can have them going up across. As we did have this before, you can use them like this. You can have them like that. If you attach them together, you can see how they're starting to connect. So if you built like a barn and you wanted to do it that way, you can. But there's an even better feature with this. I think these are so cool. You can bring them out if you wanted to. You can link like a special trellis to it as well. This is the whole entire complete add-on. I don't know an add-on that does everything to such a high standard like they do. Now, one more thing the creators did tell me is that we can tap on these to connect all to connect to the same type. So I can then go ahead, change this. I'm not sure, but you can see how they're definitely starting to connect there. Anyway, another feature they introduced is the trellis, but these are just a beautiful introduction. Like, builders are going to have an absolute field day with this. The creators, every time I check this out, the creators do something that I'm incredibly impressed with and very, very surprised. But like in a really, really good way, you know? They're so clean. To make the trellis, you are going to need fences. Now, you can actually put the custom flowers attached to these. So I'm just going to place down a couple of these real quick. And then we're going to grab ourselves a couple of the flowers. I put them over here. So anything like these, it tells you. It says trellis flower. So I believe you can kind of attach them to this. There you go. There we go, as you can see. So for decoration purposes, it just gives the player a lot more control. How cool is that? So you could link them with the beams, then build a trellis and build the most beautiful barns ever created. People seem to love the barn block, so the creators introduced 2 more. Now, if you open this up, look how aesthetically pleasing this is, by the way. They also categorized all the blocks, so it's so easy to understand. I believe the wood barn and possibly the orange are the brand new one, or it could be the yellow, but they're newly introduced in this update. So we have 10 new foods. Now, the creators outlined the foods that they've introduced here are to focus on the unused crops, things that people weren't using that much. Let's go through all of the available foods. So these are all of them. Some are dishes, some are bowls, some are soups, and some are just regular plates. So you can see how much hunger points they're going to give you here. So we have obviously vegetarian meals as well. We have a good old hearty salad. We've got noodle bowls. One of them is also a vegan chestnut roast, broccoli soup. We've got different noodles, squash, and onions. Lots of different options here. And also you don't consume the bowls and plates. They did fix that in other updates. You've got wasabi as well. You've got so many different options here. So yeah, more expansion when it comes to the food options. I nearly forgot this. Another quality of life change is I think they added these. So you can now hang these across for decoration purposes and you can mix and match. If you wanted to have, I don't know, like your grand opening of a barn, for example, you could go ahead and do that as well. We do also have greenhouse roof on a slope, I believe, newly introduced, and these regular roof blocks as well. They're newly introduced. Guys, there's so much in this update. Hopefully I haven't missed anything important. A couple more things they've outlined, or they did outline to me, is all items are now grouped, which you've definitely seen. Flax crop, which again is used for early string. Fish trap now randomly catches the crops and farms bottles, which can be used in like the cow farms. Barn colors was orange and wood. Okay, kiln bricks and tiles can now be crafted into slabs. Now, as a side warning here, as a note, if you do try and waterlog these slabs, it don't work. I did tell the creators, hopefully that gets fixed. And then a bunch more changes, guys, honestly. Along with a couple of bug fixes that people have been reporting, this is a 10 out of 10 add-on. It's up there with one of my favorite. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Go and support the creators. It's continuously being updated, and it's going to be on sale. If you don't already own this, now would be the time before that price increase.